Hey, 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 here I am, live with you from the country club. Have a look around. I know, I thought I'd try something different today. So, I'm hoping I can see comments. If you're with me, please say hi. Please let me know if you can hear me and drop me a little emoji. I love a bit of love. Send me a love heart. And if you're watching on replay, put hashtag replay. So, a little bit different today because it's a bank holiday here, which I'd completely forgotten about when I scheduled this. And the kids wanted to go, I call it country club. It's not what you would think of a country club, but it is kind of, it's got tennis courts, it's got stables, it's got a swimming pool, and it's just up the road from our house. So we thought we'd bob up here and wear the kids out in the swimming pool. And I thought, well, I could cancel the training, I could postpone the training, I could not go to the club with the kids, I could stay at home with my nice comfy office and studio. And then I thought, no, I'm going to do it all. I'm going to have it all. I'm going to come here, spend time with the fam and talk to you as well. Hey Maggie, nice to see you. Thanks so much for joining. Right, today we're talking about expert energy. We're talking about overcoming impostor syndrome to be seen as the expert that you already are. And when I say that, do you believe that you are the expert? Do you believe that you are the go-to authority in your industry, in your niche, in your business? Put a 1 for yes, I believe. Put a 2 for, not so sure. Don't know if I'm there yet. And it's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. And I want you to know there's no blame or shame in this. It's never blame or shame in anything I do because I think that's pointless. However, I would like you to feel into your expert energy. And today we're going to talk a little bit about why that's important and how to do that. So I've got some notes. I've no slides today. Oh, but look, I've also got a cup of coffee. That's nice. The pool was actually cold today. So, right, I've got notes though. I always prepare. So, think about this. I mean, I always come from things from an acting point of view, as you know. So think about when you've ever been and watched a comedian, an actor, a politician, a speaker walk on stage. What is it about that person that gives them expert energy? And have you ever seen anybody walk on stage without expert energy? Probably, I don't know if I have actually, because we kind of trust that the people that step onto a stage, whether they're speakers or singers or actors or comedians or politicians or whatever it is, we've already invested a certain amount of trust that they know what they're doing. Okay? And what they're doing is they absolutely, from the second they walk on stage, they own the room. And this is something I talk about in the Magnetic Mastermind. In fact, it's one of my modules is called Own the Room. And inside of that module, there's a few different lessons about how to own the room. The reason that we need you to own the room, and by owning the room, I mean we need to see you as the one in charge. We need to see you as the one in authority. We need to see you as the leader, the expert. And the reason we need to do that is because we put our confidence in your confidence. And when, let's say, an actor, comedian, singer walks on stage, we need to feel, we don't need to worry. They've got this. We can sit back, we can relax, and we can watch the performance, we can watch the show, we can see, we can feel totally in the moment and go with what's happening, whether it's a song, whether it's a comedy, whether it's a speech. And that's really important, that we need to make our audiences feel comfortable, safe, and trusting. So when you go and see someone really spectacular, maybe your favourite comedian, on stage. The minute they walk on stage, you know you're in for a good time. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, that they've got this. They're going to take you on a journey. They're the expert. They've done this before. They're brilliant. And you don't have to worry about a thing. You don't have to feel, well, maybe you will feel uncomfortable, you know, with some plays and some comedians, obviously. But in terms of you yourself, you are being taken on a journey by somebody else being in charge. And that's what I mean by expert energy. That's the feeling you need to give to your clients. Your clients are looking to you to know what you're doing and to be the expert. Now, I'm not talking about you having to be the best, the number one, the only, more qualified than anybody else in the rest of the world. I'm just saying you need to have that confidence. You need to have the sense of, I've got you, I'm doing this, I know where I'm going, I know the results I can get you, and you are going to be safe with me. And here's another thing I don't think we talk enough about, particularly in coaching, is the feeling of safety. Our clients, and think about yourself as a client as well, this is really a really useful perspective. Our clients need to feel that they're in a safe space, because a lot of the coaching that we do is deep work. It's work on mindset, it's work on subconscious beliefs. And if we don't feel safe, we're not going to be honest. And we're going to start backing away. So by being the expert, by being the leader, by being confident, you are creating a safe space. And it's only in that space where transformation takes place. That's where your clients are going to come and examine their subconscious beliefs, their conscious beliefs, and be able to go, okay, yeah, maybe that's not serving me anymore. Maybe I can do something different. So, in order for your clients to feel safe and trusting, you need to lead with confidence. You need to take charge. I think there is a perception that as a coach, you have to be perfect. Like, how can I help other people live their best life if I'm not living my best life? How can I help people lose weight if I'm not, like, you know, have been at my ideal weight for the last 20 years? How can I help people negotiate parenting something if I'm not the parent of the year? And that's really short-sighted, and it's not true. It's a bit like saying to an actor, oh, you can't act that role because you've never been a drug addict, or you can't act that role because you've never, you know, had an affair with your brother-in-law. I'm trying to think of soap examples here. You can't have that role because you've never swapped a baby at birth. And that's a nonsense, isn't it? Because the whole point of being an actor is being able to imagine yourself in those situations. But what we all have in common is the emotions and the capacity for different emotional states. I've segued a little bit here. Let's get back to coaching. So, as a coach, you don't have to live the perfect life in order to help your clients improve their lives, is what I'm saying. But what you do have to do is have a bit of authority. And obviously experience comes into that, knowledge, skills, wisdom. But here's the thing, you've got all that already. I know you have, because you're a person and you've lived life. And if you're a woman, you've got that unique experience and perspective as well. So don't do yourself a disservice by thinking you're not the expert and thinking you're not good enough. I'm going to get back to my notes here. I don't leave anything out. Okay, so it's important to own the room and be the expert in order to help people, your audience, your readers, your clients, feel safe and trusting. And let's not forget, people are trusting you with their time, their money, their health, their well-being, and their personal development and mindset and feelings. So a lot of trust goes into hiring a coach and buying a service, particularly online. So we need to help our clients see that we are a safe space, that we are worth that investment, that we are worth trusting every step of the way. So we are conditioned not to be experts, particularly as women, because we've been told for a long time how to behave, how to look, how to not take up too much space, not be too loud, not be too pushy, not stand up for ourselves, not celebrate our successes. Essentially, everything we do is a bit wrong, right? If you think back to growing up and learning, about makeup or clothes or weight or, at school even, don't be too clever, don't stand out, don't be the teacher's pet. I mean, like so many messages telling us not to be whatever it was we were being. And that gives us all a feeling of not being good enough. And that feeling is so pervasive into adult life and into everything that we do. And particularly when you start running a business, because it's a scary place to be. You've taken a leap. You've invested and you start to doubt all the things that you have to learn when you're running a business. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I thought my hardest thing when I started a business was going to be naming it and getting a website. Seems like every time you overcome a hurdle, there's another one just pops up. So, hopefully you can hear me. Oh, hey, Betty, nice to see you too. How lovely. Right, I'm going to see if I can see the comments because I'm hoping this is all resonating. Okay. Can't see any comments, so apologies for that. Right, so we've been conditioned not to take up too much space. We feel that we're not good enough, and therefore it is hard to step into your expert energy. I totally get that. However, it's super important as well. And one of the things, and again, this is another module on the Magnetic Mastermind, is where we talk about stepping into the 2.0 version of you. Some people call it the CEO mindset. Some people call it the millionaire mindset. It's really owning who you are and what you do in your business and the fact that you are the bloody expert, actually. And I'm not saying, okay, we're all, Amy Porterfield or Marie Forleo. Of course we're not. Because as you and I both know, there's always going to be someone who's far ahead of you and there's always going to be someone coming up behind you. So, now we get into comparisonitis. I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. So it's not saying that you're the best or the only. It's not saying that you're more qualified or more trained. But you are absolutely 1000% the expert of you. And your business is you. And you've gone into your business for a specific reason. And that reason is something to do with you. And therefore you're the expert in it. Honestly, you're not in a business where you just turn around one day and went, oh, do you know what? I'm going to start a knitting business. I've never knitted before, have no interest in it. I'm going to start a knitting business. Nobody does that, okay? So you have to start looking at evidence that you are the expert. And this is another thing we need to talk about, evidence, okay? Actually, let me just go back into the comparisonitis because I said I was going to talk about impostor syndrome and comparisonitis. So these are some of the things that we do in order to either resist what's going on or sabotage what's going on. So comparisonitis is, it's awful, isn't it? It sucks. I thought for years that I was immune to comparisonitis. When I heard about people getting upset on Facebook because they were seeing all these people living their best lives, I couldn't understand it at all. I was like, I don't feel like that when I look at Facebook. And I realised, with hindsight, that it was because I saw Facebook as a tool to tell people about my acting work. That's how I joined at drama school. And it was a great way of just letting people know, here, I'm in this play, or here, there's, and we'd communicate with each other in the industry. So that's how it all started. So it never occurred to me that I was looking at people's holidays and going, oh, how fancy, and things like that. until I started running a business. And then, oh my gosh, comparisonitis hit me so hard. I think I maybe got a little bit addicted to looking at people's businesses and obviously feeling inadequate and like I had no clue what I was doing and completely worthless. And my favourite thing to do when I'm feeling those feelings is to hide, become invisible, run away, distract, avoid, and not show up. So one of the big things I've learned in the 2.0 version of me, my CEO self, is to show up no matter what, because I'm doing it for my clients. I'm not doing it for myself. So anyway, I do get comparisonitis. It is pervasive, it's insidious, it's hideous, it's easy to fall prey to. And all I can advise you to do if you fall prey to comparisonitis is one, reach out to someone, reach out to me, drop me a DM going, oh my God, I'm struggling with visibility because I've got this comparisonitis taking over. I've got more about this and definitely some training on this as well. So I'm not going to talk too much about it now. So first of all, talk to someone, talk to your bestie, remind yourself that you're bloody brilliant. And if you can't do that, then get someone else to remind you. Okay, so that's comparisonitis. And while we're here, let's talk quickly about imposter syndrome as well, because this is another kind of symptom of not being in your expert energy. It's another way of avoiding your expert energy. So imposter syndrome is very simply the dissonance between outward success and inward feelings of insecurity and anxiety. So it's really common. We often have that feeling when things are going really well, and it doesn't matter. It could be a promotion, it could be, I don't know, romance, it could be obviously running a business. Suddenly, you start to feel this can't be happening. It's too good to be true. Why is it happening to me? Because we all know I'm not good enough. So this luck's going to run out. And then you start to feel like a fake and a fraud and a phony. And you worry that someone's going to come and tap you on the shoulder and go, oh, there's been a huge mistake. We didn't want you to be this happy. We didn't want you to find your partner. We didn't want you to, be successful at work and get that promotion. We didn't want you to win this award. It wasn't for you. It's for someone else. When you say it like that, it kind of sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? So, yes, imposter syndrome is real. And again, you have tools and ways to get out of it. And for me, it's always reaching out. Reach out to someone you know, or even better, someone you don't know. Someone like me, who's always happy to help. So imposter syndrome is another way of avoiding being a success, but also avoiding being the expert. So you've decided in your brain that you're not good enough, and therefore any success that comes your way you're not worthy. And can I just say, this is a very patriarchal model of thinking as well. If you haven't worked hard for it, hours and hours and hours, if you haven't sweated, if you haven't drudged for years studying like mad, if you haven't got 18,000 qualifications, then you're not worthy. That's a lot to do with the patriarchal model of thinking, where we hang a badge of success on often financial success, and all of that nonsense. It's not true. Put it away. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. You don't need it. It's somebody else's shit. And you are brilliant. I know it. I know it for like 1000%. Brilliant, accomplished, wise, talented, kind, generous. You are all of those things. And you are the expert in your business. You are, because it's your business and it's all about you. And we're buying from you because we trust you and we love you and like you and we want everything that you have to give. So you need to show up with that expert energy in order to do your clients the service that they need and deserve from you. So did I see Holly Ann on here? Hey, Holly Ann. Holly Ann. Sorry, I realise I've been sick with my sunglasses on. I'm so sorry. They're prescription glasses. But anyway, I can see you. Holly Ann told me one of the most brilliant things ever that I often say to my clients. And that is, I asked her once, I said, you make loads of videos. So Holly Ann does tons of like TikToks and Reels and YouTube videos and everything. And she works in the realm of child abuse and child sexual abuse and how to recognise it. And she goes and teaches in schools. And I said, you make videos all the time. Obviously, you're very confident. She said, no, not at all. And I said, oh, wow, how did you get over that then? And she said, well, I know that my message is bigger than me. And I was just like, of course it is. And I say this to my clients all the time. Your message is bigger than you. It's not about you and your insecurities. It's about getting out there and serving your clients. And you can't serve your clients if you're not in your expert energy. Okay, I'm running out of time. I wanted to keep this to half an hour, and I've got to make sure that I've said all the things I want to say. Okay, so what can you do when you're mired in feeling not good enough? And, very quickly, just wanted to say, if you're not in your expert energy, if you're in your impostor syndrome, your comparisonitis, if you're feeling unsure and doubting yourself, then unfortunately, that is going to show up in your marketing. Oh, I know, marketing, what a nightmare. So having that self-doubt, not being sure, it is going to show up, even kind of on a subconscious level. It's going to show up in your posts, in your content creation, in your emails, in your TikToks, in your videos and your Reels. And I'm afraid that is one of the reasons you haven't been getting results. It might be one of the reasons that people are just not quite sure what you do. Maybe they're not quite sure what you're about. They don't understand your values. Maybe you keep changing your niche. Maybe people are not buying your offers. I don't want to say that's the only reason, but it could be that there's a bit of a mix match between you saying, yes, I am a health coach, but the message maybe not being so clear. Okay, I'll probably talk more about that in another training. But for sure, expert energy, stepping into the 2.0 version of yourself, overcoming comparisonitis and imposter syndrome are all parts of the module in my Magnetic Mastermind called Own the Room. Okay, so think about all those amazing people that you see stepping on the stage that own the room. Okay, so what can you do to own the room? I've got a few minutes to give you some tips. So first of all, chill. Give yourself a minute to stop beating yourself up. Be kind. Do something nice. And start to build up a bank of things that you've accomplished that you feel good about. And it doesn't matter about accolades or certificates. This is things that you've done that you feel, yeah, I did that hard thing. I did that courageous thing. And it isn't about achievement. So it's not, it could be something like, I did knitting for 10 days. Wow, you did knitting for 10 days. Okay, so maybe you're not, producing jumpers for sale, but you still did knitting and you tried hard for 10 days and then you decided it wasn't for you. Okay, great. You picked up a new skill. Good for you. Now, one's asking you to be the expert knitter. Maybe you cook dinner every day and you're really good at it and you're really good at, coming up with ideas from leftovers or whatever it is. I don't want to start giving examples because then I'm going to leave something out. But for sure, you've done hard things before. For sure, you've mastered things too. So there are things that you did once that were really hard, like, driving a car. Or maybe, I don't know, making a roast dinner or playing tennis. Maybe things that, once upon a time were hard, but now feel much, much easier because you've done them a few times. So start to build up this, and you can do it literally or figuratively. Literally is great. A vault, a Trello board, a Google document, a spreadsheet of things you've done, because you're retraining your brain We all had a negativity bias, so it's really easy to remember the shit, to remember the critique, to remember the failures. But you can start to train your brain the other way, to see it as, a failure is only a learning experience. Something that feels negative can have had positive outcomes. And one of the things that I always do in my coaching, and for sure in the Magnetic Mastermind, we do this as well, is celebrate your wins. So I'll say to my client, oh my gosh, and this is hard, very hard in the beginning. I'll always say, what have you done this week that you're proud of? Things that you've achieved, things that you tried, things that you thought. And it's so difficult because lots of people, go off on tangents and go, oh, well, I, did shopping and that's fine. But it's so hardwired in us not to celebrate ourselves, our achievements, not even our achievements, our, times when we've tried something new, times when we've been brave, times when we've got out of our comfort zone. All of those things should be remembered and celebrated, but we do have to train our brain to do that. And I guarantee if you start to train your brain to do more of that, you're going to start to see yourself in a different light. You're going to start to see that you are worthy, that you are knowledgeable, that you are brilliant, and that you're the expert. Yes, you are. We absolutely are the expert. Right, guys. Now, I'm so sorry. I haven't been able to look at the comments and I don't know why. It's really annoying. Okay. I've got a load of settings on here, which is a bit weird. Anyway, so let's just recap then. Ooh. So let's recap. Expert energy is required to help your clients to feel safe and to trust you with their time, their money, their feelings, their personal development, and their business. Expert energy comes from having a belief in your program, your offer, your business, yourself, and your clients. And often we are conditioned not to feel good enough for so many reasons. The first step is to recognize that conditioning, recognize the thoughts that we have, the inner critic thoughts that are coming in to tell us that, don't do that, you're not good enough, etc., etc. And then be able to go, but hang on a minute, I have evidence, I have proof that I am courageous, that I have tried new things, that I have got out of my comfort zone, that I have actually learned something, accomplished something, become really good at something, and I am 1000% the expert in my particular field because I am my business. And get it in perspective. There's always going to be someone ahead of you. There's always going to be someone behind you. That doesn't mean that you're not the expert in your particular field. Oh, Holly Ann, I can see a comment. Hooray! It's been too long. Thanks for this. You're so welcome. I must send Christy the replay link as well. Okay, so you owe it to your clients and yourself and your business to show up as the expert that you already are. Yes, you can overcome imposter syndrome. Yes, you can push through comparisonitis. Yes, the brain is there to sabotage you because it doesn't feel safe, but you can do it. I've got faith in you, 1000%. And if you're struggling at all in any way, shape or form, please reach out. Reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, and reach out to me. I love chatting about this. I have got like 1,000 different ways of overcoming these difficulties. And believe you me, I have been there too. This reminds me of a story. I just have to tell you this quickly before I sign off. When I was auditioning for drama school, I tried all sorts of things. I did a bit of improv, and I used to go to these storytelling evenings. And I remember this one woman who was a brilliant storyteller, and I went up to her afterwards and said, wow, I'd love to do what you do. And she said, all right, do it. And I was like, How can I do that? I'm not qualified. I'm not trained. And she went, do you need to be qualified to tell a story? And I was like, yeah, that sounds a bit daft. And then she gave me her business card and it said, whatever, Sarah Jones, storyteller. And I was like, oh, wow, you are a proper storyteller. You have got a qualification. You have been somewhere. You've got a title. And she looked at me and she said, I am a storyteller because who's to tell me I'm not? Mind blown. And I just thought, gosh, aren't we so conditioned to think that people can only have job titles that they've worked hard for, that they've qualified for, that they've trained for, that they've got a certificate or a diploma for? And actually, who are you not to be? A storyteller. Same when I was an actor. It felt like a really big thing to tell people, yeah, I'm an actress, yeah, I'm an actor. I don't know why, but you've got to start owning it. You've got to own, and one of the things, again, I've talked about with so many people on calls is, what do you call yourself? Do you call yourself a founder, an owner, the CEO? These things, they're important, right? Anyway, I'm segueing into a whole new section here. But I want you to own it. I want you to own who you are in your business. I want you to be the 2.0 version of yourself, the CEO, the millionaire person that owns your business. That is you, my friend. Gosh, I feel like I could talk about this all day, but I'm not going to spare you that. Okay, listen, thank you so much for being with me. Please let me know if any of this has resonated in the comments below. Drop me a takeaway, a breakthrough, an aha moment. Please let me know what you think. And if you would like information about the Magnetic Mastermind, of which this is a tiny, tiny part of one of the modules, how to own the room, then please hop into my DMs because I've got a lovely video which tells you all about it. Okay? So, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the replay, and I will see you very soon.